My CEO canceled her wedding and came to my house at midnight, she said. I wanted to say I love you. The knock on my door came at 12:07 a.m. Not loud. Not desperate. Just firm enough to say whoever was standing outside knew exactly where they were. I remember checking my phone first. No messages, no missed calls. Rain streaked down the window like the city itself was crying. I almost didn't open the door. Almost. If I hadn't, my entire life would have stayed exactly the same. When I pulled it open, the world tilted. She stood there barefoot, heels dangling from 2 fingers, hair soaked, eyes red, not from rain alone. My CEO. Elena Grant. The woman whose face was printed on billboards downtown. The woman who was supposed to be getting married in less than 48 hours. I'm sorry, she whispered. I didn't know where else to go. I didn't invite her in. I moved out of the way. Sometimes kindness doesn't ask questions. It just acts. Earlier that day, Elena Grant had walked out of her own engagement announcement. The boardroom was packed, investors, executives, assistants pretending not to stare at the ring that sparkled under the lights. Her fiancé stood beside her, smiling like a man who believed everything was under control. Elena had smiled too. For exactly 3 seconds. Then her hands trembled. I need a moment, she said. And she left. No explanation. No drama. Just silence swallowing the room whole. Everyone stared at the empty chair she left behind. Everyone except me. I looked down at my notes, because I recognized that look in her eyes. The look of someone who had been strong for too long. Back in my apartment, Elena stood awkwardly in the doorway, like a guest afraid of overstaying before even entering. You can sit, I said quietly. She nodded, perching on the edge of the couch as if comfort was something she'd forgotten how to accept. I canceled the wedding, she said again, like repeating it might make it real. I handed her a towel. Our fingers brushed. She flinched, not away from me, but towards something inside herself. I shouldn't be here, she added. This crosses boundaries. You're soaked, I replied. That crosses common sense. For the first time that night, a faint smile appeared. Elena Grant was known for control. She controlled rooms. Markets. Narratives. What she didn't control was the way her voice cracked when she finally spoke again. I spent my whole life becoming someone people respected, she said. Tonight I realized, nobody actually knows me. I sat across from her, not beside. Giving space is its own form of care. He's a good man, she continued, referring to the man she was supposed to marry. Kind. Loyal. Predictable. She laughed softly. So am I. The laugh died quickly. But love isn't supposed to feel like a checklist, she whispered. Rain thundered against the windows, filling the silence she couldn't. I had worked for Elena for 3 years. She promoted me faster than anyone expected. Not because I impressed her, but because I was honest when everyone else performed. When a product failed, I said it failed. When a meeting dragged, I suggested ending it. When she once asked me why I stayed late every night, I answered truthfully. Because my dad taught me that effort is how you say thank you for opportunity. She remembered that. She remembered everything. That's what scared me now. Why here? I asked gently. She stared at her hands. Because you never wanted anything from me, she said. Not approval. Not favors. Not attention. She looked up. You saw me as a person before you saw my title. The words hit harder than any confession. I didn't come to be comforted, she said. I came to be honest. Just once. My heartbeat felt too loud. She stood suddenly, pacing the small living room like a woman trapped inside her own success. I was rehearsing vows today, she said. Talking about forever. And all I could think was, this isn't brave. It's convenient. She stopped in front of me. And then I thought of you. I swallowed. Not romantically, she added quickly. At first. I thought of the way you listen. The way you never interrupt. The way you treat everyone, from interns to janitors, like they matter. Her voice broke. I realized that's how love should feel. The confession hadn't happened yet. But the truth already had. She sat back down, exhausted. Smaller than I had ever seen her. I don't expect anything, she said. I just needed you to know. I love you. No demand. No manipulation. Just honesty wrapped in vulnerability. That was the moment I understood something terrifying. Kindness can change destinies. And once someone chooses truth, you can never go back to pretending. For a long moment after Elena said those words, neither of us moved. I love you. They didn't echo loudly. They settled, like dust after something heavy has fallen. I didn't answer. Not because I didn't feel anything, but because I felt too much. Some truths don't ask for a reply right away. They ask for honesty. I need to say something, I finally said. She nodded immediately. You don't owe me. I know, I interrupted gently. That's why I'm saying it. I stood and walked to the window, watching the rain slow into something calmer. Midnight had slipped into early morning without permission. You've always been kind to me, I said. But kindness from someone powerful can feel like gravity. It pulls without meaning to. She listened. Really listened. I need to know, I continued, turning back to her, that this isn't about escape. That you're not choosing me because your world cracked tonight. Her eyes filled, but she didn't look away. That's exactly why I came here, she said. To tell you without asking you to fix anything. She took a breath. I'm not asking you to save me. I'm asking you to see me. Something in my chest loosened. She stayed the night. Not in my bedroom. Not wrapped in some dramatic moment of passion. She slept on the couch, fully clothed, her heels lined neatly by the door like she was still trying to keep control over something. I stayed awake longer than I should have, listening to the city hum, replaying every conversation we'd ever had. I realized something terrifying. I had loved her long before she said the words. Just quietly. Responsibly. Safely. Morning arrived without ceremony. When I stepped into the living room, she was already awake, sitting cross-legged on the floor, holding a mug of coffee like it was unfamiliar territory. I couldn't sleep, she admitted. Me neither. She smiled. Figures. For the first time since I'd known her, Elena Grant looked normal. No blazer. No armor. Just a woman who had made a choice, and survived the night after. I'm resigning today, she said casually, like she was talking about canceling a meeting. I nearly dropped my mug. You can't be serious. I am, she replied. I've already drafted the letter. She met my eyes. This matters too much to do wrong. That was Elena. Even in love, she refused shortcuts. You worked your whole life for that position, I said. And I don't regret it, she replied. But I won't build my future on imbalance. There was kindness in that decision, for both of us. The fallout was immediate. News outlets went wild. Investors panicked. Her fiancé released a carefully worded statement about mutual respect and privacy. Elena didn't read the comments. She turned off her phone and went quiet. I stayed near, but not attached. We walked together sometimes. Cooked simple meals. Talked about books we never had time to read. About childhoods shaped by expectation. I was 8 when my mother told